she wants the living room light and airy, he wants a dark masculine decor. At 10, 21st Century Home tours an urban environment of the future. Then at 10:30, Dream Builders talks with building professionals about the latest trends in construction. It's all tonight on HGTV, Home and Garden Television.
Hi, I'm Ron Hazelton, the house doctor. Welcome to the House Doctor, the show that helps you fix up your home or apartment. Now on today's show, I'm going to help a homeowner install a new cabinet door to access some additional storage space. And we'll explore the basics of electrical wiring. But first, when a viewer wrote asking for help in cleaning and staining her backyard fence, well, I gave her a house call. Oh, so this is the fence. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. So what's going on here? Or what don't you like about this, actually, I guess is the better question.
Well, it's been getting greener every year, and...
Green's not your favorite color. Not on your fence anyway,
not
right?
Not this green.
Right. Yeah, look at that. And then down here it's got almost gray. It's gone gray, yeah. So go ahead, you were saying?
And we'd like it to look more natural, more like it did originally.
Okay.
And so we'd like to find out how to get rid of the green and how to get rid of all the staining, and have it look maintained.
Okay. Rather than sort of neglected like it kind of looks now.
It is.
Well, this is Lily, and we're here in her backyard, actually. And what's happened to this fence is it's a rather shaded area back here. It gets almost no sunlight, so the fence has got a pretty good coating of algae on it right now. Some of it's greener than others. So what we're going to do for this project is take off this algae, first of all, and then we're going to sort of restore some of the color, brighten up the wood a little bit. And then I think we'll put some kind of a sealer on here so that this doesn't happen again quite so quickly. Okay? We're going to start by giving this fence a good washing, and to do that, I'm going to use something called a power washer. A power washer is really a motor, in this case a gasoline motor, and a pump. And to use it, you simply connect your garden hose right here on the inlet side. Now, what it does is boost the household water pressure from, say, 60 or 70 pounds up to 12 or even 1,400 pounds. And it's that high-pressure water that does most of the work. Now, the water comes out this black hose here under pressure and into this wand. And then on the end of this wand, we're going to attach one of these 3 tips. Now, they vary because this one right here, for example, gives you a very narrow blast of water. This one, a wider blast. We're going to choose the one in the middle right here for our job. Just pull this collar down, drop this in, and we're ready to go. Play the high-pressure stream of water back and forth over the surface that you're cleaning. You want to be close enough to do a good cleaning job, but not so close that you etch the surface. To clean the sides of these slats, we'll rotate the nozzle 90 degrees into a vertical pattern. Well, as you can see, that power washer did a pretty darn good job of cleaning this off, but we still have some stubborn algae spots right here and on the surface of this board. So now let's see if we can get those off. And to do that, we're going to use some bleach. This is just regular household bleach. I'll put a little more water in here. There we go. Now I'm going to add, maybe 1 cup of bleach to every gallon or so of water. Now, I'm not going to be using this bleach so much to lighten the fence as I am as a disinfectant to kill those algae spores. And the best way to put this on, I think, is going to be with this long-handled brush right here. First of all, I'm not going to have to bend over as much, and also to keep me away from that bleach water. Let's start by doing the bottom section like this. I'm going to come up about, as you can see here, 2.5 feet or so. I want to soak this really well. Well, I've rinsed off the last of that chlorine bleach and it's done a pretty good job of getting rid of almost all of that algae. Now, what I'd like to do, though, is sort of brighten this wood up a bit, maybe take it back a little closer to its original color. So for that, we're going to use this product right down here. Let me get my safety glasses out. This is called oxalic acid. It's also a wood bleach, but really It's more of a wood brightener than a bleach. Comes in the sort of powder or crystalline form, as you can see right here. You want to mix this about 4 ounces to each quart of very hot water. I like to make a really saturated solution of this. That should be about right, okay? We'll mix this up now with a brush, just kind of twisting it back and forth there. And now, while you can apply this with a garden sprayer, once again, I think you get better results if you use the brush and really work this into the surface of the wood. Okay, so we'll let this sit on here for, maybe 20 minutes or so, and then I'll rinse it off. It's been a few days since we washed our fence here. I want to let this wood dry thoroughly because stains and sealers won't penetrate wet wood very well. So we're going to begin our finishing process now, starting with this top rail up here. Now, this is actually a solid color stain. It's almost a paint in that it's lying up on top of the wood. You can see that as we were cleaning this up. Whereas down here, the sealer is going to penetrate into the wood more. So I want to do one final piece of preparation up here, and that is to take a wire brush, kind of go over this one last time. You see some of that dust that's coming off there? A little bit of kind of oxidized finish. Remove all of that, and then come back over and dust this off with a rag. Now, this is an oil-based stain. It, for the most part, is going to penetrate into the wood, but as I said earlier, there's a lot of pigment in this, and the pigment will end up kind of pretty much up on the surface. There are several ways to apply a stain like this because I want to control this. That is, I don't want to get it on the slats down below. I'm going to be using a brush, or I am using a brush right here. Well, the stain up here on our top rail is dry. It's turned out pretty nicely. Now, I want to deal with these slats or boards down here in the fence. And to do that, I'm going to be using a little bit different product. This is actually a transparent stain. There's virtually no pigment in here. It's primarily a sealer. And to apply that, since we've got these irregular surfaces right here, I'm going to use a garden sprayer. So let's go ahead and pour this in here. Oh, spill a little bit there. That's not too bad. Now, you'll notice I put some plastic down on the concrete here. There will be some overspray with this, so I don't want to stain the deck down here. And I've also asked Gillian to go ahead and cover up the shrubs around here, again, to protect them from any overspray. All right, well, that's pretty much filled up there. That's about a full gallon. Now let's put our pump back in here and pressurize this. Now, low pressure is best when you're spraying the sealer. Make long, smooth strokes and keep your nozzle a consistent distance away from the fence. Be sure and wear a respirator of some sort, designed to filter out fumes, and, of course, eye protection. Now, once you've applied the sealer or stain with the garden sprayer, go back over the surface with a brush and work the material into the pores of the wood. All right, Lillian, when I got a little bit of that sealer on top of this rail and these posts, what you might want to do is take a little bit of paint thinner, mineral spirits, and just kind of wipe this down a little bit so you don't end up with shiny spots on this. Okay. Something like that, okay? And we probably should do that sooner rather than later.
Okay, as soon as possible.
But I think you're all set. I mean, this has turned out really beautifully, I think. What do you think?
Wonderful.
Don't want to put words in your mouth. You like it?
Do I like it? It's the best looking fence around here.
I agree. That's better than what we started with. In fact, remember back to the way this looked just a few days ago, and then, of course, the way it looks now. So anyway, thank you for having us over. This was a great project. So if your fence is in need of some rejuvenation, well, I hope we've given you some ideas. Coming up next, access hidden storage space by installing additional cabinet doors. And later in the show, Janet Tagawa shows us how to make a beautiful keepsake album.
Have you ever wondered what makes a washing machine wash or a light bulb light? It's all on How's That Made? Tonight at 8:30 on HGTV.
Professional builders, people who make a living with their tools, prefer to buy their tools at the Home Depot more than any other store in America. And whether it's the selection, the quality brands we offer, or our guaranteed commitment to the lowest prices, we think it's a pretty powerful argument for why you should shop here too. The Home Depot, where people who know their stuff buy their stuff.
Here's HGTV's Daily Almanac. If you've been affected by recent flooding, you probably know cleaning up can be a messy job. Make sure you have disinfectant, gloves, and boots. You see, the floodwaters pick up chemicals and sewage on the way to your home, so anything that it comes in contact with is contaminated. And once the waters recede and the mud dries, the contamination is airborne. So make sure you have a dust mask to protect your lungs.
Well, I'd like you to meet Terry. Hey, Terry. How you doing?
Ron.
Thanks for having me over. Why don't you tell everybody what we're going to be doing here and why you want to do it?
Well, we'd like access to the storage space there. If we had a door, we could get into this area that's here that we can't reach in from the other side.
Okay, this is a very deep base cabinet, and this is really lost space back here. So what we're going to be doing is cutting an opening down here and installing this door. But where did the door come from?
Well, a neighbor was remodeling, and they were going to throw it out, and I said, can I have it? And here it is. It seems, I hope it works.
Great. Great. And, of course, if you didn't have a door, you could always buy one or have one made. What we're going to concentrate on right now is how to cut this opening and fit the door to it. I've laid out our opening here, marked it with some masking tape because pencil lines are just really hard to see on this dark surface right here. Also, I've indicated that inside here is a shelf. We're going to have to be aware of that as we begin to cut this out. Now, I'm going to make my initial cut actually about 1/4 of an inch inside this edge of the tape right here, and we'll clean that off later. I'll show you how we'll do that. So let's begin by drilling a starter hole about right here. Okay, there's our starter hole. Now we'll put our jigsaw blade right in that hole. And again, we're going to cut about 1/4 of an inch inside the tape. Okay, well, there's the bulk of the material. Now we still have a piece left right here on top of that shelf. That, I think I'm going to cut out using a back saw. You know, it's very difficult to make a straight finish cut like we need here with a jigsaw. It's just hard to keep it in line. Also, the reciprocating action of a jigsaw tends to produce a little bit of chipping along the edge. So we're going to clean this opening up, this cut up, with a router. Now, I've loaded a straight cutting bit in here already. And the next thing we want to do is measure the distance from the edge of the cutter to the edge of the base plate here. That's about 2 1/4 inches. And then we'll measure back the same distance from the inside edge of our finished cut here, 2 1/4, and put a mark right here. Now, I put a couple of pieces of tape here again to help see our marks more clearly. Now, what we're going to be doing is taking this piece of 1x4, and I'm going to attach it to the cabinet right here, and the edge of this piece of wood right here is going to act as a guide for the base of that router. Now, to put this on temporarily, I'm going to use some hot melt glue. Now, this is a special type. It's actually a caulk sealer, which can be peeled off easily without damaging the surface. So let's just put some drops of it here, here, and here. Okay. Then we'll hold this up in position and press it in place. Okay, we're all set to go. This is nice and solid. Start the router. You see, we're running right along the edge of that. See how nice and clean and straight this finished cut is using this technique? Okay, it turned out really nice on the right side. Now, all we have to do is pop this board off, and you see this stuff just peels off with your finger, both from the back of the board and from the face of the cabinet. Now, these corners we just cut out with a handsaw. There, we've mounted the hinges in the door. And there you go. Now you can see Terry's going to be able to reach back here in this corner. That was really almost useless space before. Yeah. So, my friend, I think that'll take care of it.
Well, thanks to House Stocks for making a house call.
Well, you're sure welcome. Thanks. If you're thinking about remodeling a dining room or adding one on, now is the time to give some consideration to the electrical wiring. There are a few tips that are really important, starting with receptacles. Now, the code says that you must have a receptacle within 6 feet of each doorway, and on a long wall, you must have one at least every 12 feet. Now, the logic behind that is that most lamp cords are 6 feet long, and that means you can place a lamp anywhere along the wall that you might want to. Now, there are no restrictions on how high a receptacle has to be, but a generally accepted height is about 12 inches from the floor. That's high enough to clear even a large baseboard and low enough to keep it well concealed behind most furniture. Now, when it comes to locating light switches, the electric code says that you must have the switch conveniently located near a doorway. Now, that means it can be on the outside of the room or on the inside. And if there's more than one doorway, each doorway must have its own switch. Now, those switches could all control a single source of light, such as an overhead light, or each switch could control a separate source of light within the room. It used to be that dining room lighting consisted mainly of an overhead light in the center of the room. Sometimes that would be a chandelier, and occasionally there might be a lamp or two around the perimeter. Well, modern overhead light gives us a lot more options. Let's take a look at this room to see what they've done here. This light in the center will shine directly down in the middle of the table and highlight the centerpiece. It's really a form of dramatic lighting. On either side, right here, we have two lights that will cross each other, providing task lighting. Now, task lighting means enough light to do whatever activity will be going on in this room, primarily eating. And the reason these beams are crossed like this is it minimizes the reflection bouncing off the table. It also reduces the possibility of harsh shadows. These fixtures over here are designed to wash this wall with light and to illuminate any art that might be hung on this wall. Now, each of these different kinds of lighting is controlled individually by its own dimmer. By varying the intensity of these lights in different combinations, it's possible to create different moods in the room, or as the lighting designers refer to them, different scenes. For example, you might want one look for intimate dining and quite a different look for entertaining. When you open your walls to remodel a living room or any room, this is the time to plan not only for lighting and electrical wiring, but also for remote stereo speakers, television cable, and the wiring for security alarms and telephones. Because doing this now is a lot easier than after the walls are finished. Next, learn how easy it is to custom make a beautiful keepsake photo album.
This is Hoffman Light Potting Soil, Hoffman Medium Potting Soil, and Hoffman...
Jump! Jump! Give me one good reason why I should jump.
New movie! Jump to Disney for Disney Channel original movies.
New shows!
You'll see new game shows like Off the Wall, Mad Libs, plus Zoog Disney, and all new episodes of your favorite Disney series.
New concerts!
Like NSYNC and Cleopatra in concert.
So you're gonna jump to Disney or what? No! Yeah!
Everybody's making the jump to Disney.
Bounce over for fun from Disney and Cox Cable.
Nothing can put a smile on your child's face like Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey. And all kids who come to the show will receive a free Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey temporary tattoo, courtesy of Cablevision and WB55. Enjoy a memory that will last a lifetime at Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey, the greatest show on earth. Coming to Gund Arena, October 23rd through November 1st.
Caring for your exterior wood? Cuprinol has the answer. For example, how should you prepare your deck before staining or sealing? Unless your deck is new, you need to clean the surface. First, remove all loose material. Then apply a deck cleaner like Cuprinol Revive Liquid Deck Wash to the entire surface. Rinse, let it dry. Now you're ready to stain or seal. For more information on Cuprinol heavy-duty wood care products, call 1-800-424-5837 because Cuprinol has the answer.
Florida's Natural, not from concentrate premium juice is made by a co-op of growers who are, well, like most traditional families. For example, they never miss their yearly gathering. They always respect their elders, and they constantly look out for the next generation. Sure, the folks who make Florida's Natural see things a little differently. After all, they own the land, they own the trees, they own the company. Taste the difference it makes. Florida's Natural Premium Juice.
Dear True Value, after 3 attempts to install a faucet I bought there, your salesman did something kind of amazing. He offered to come and help do the job himself. And the price for his services? A ride to my home. It made me feel great. And I think the True Value guy felt pretty good about it, too. Until the ride back to the hardware store.
Will you come back for dinner?
If you've been scratching your head over what kind of gift to give a friend, well, here's Janet Tagawa with a solution.
Photo albums come in many different sizes. A custom album such as this one could cost you as high as $60. I'll show you today how to make one in just a few hours for a third of the cost. After you've purchased your 3-ring binder, take the pages out of the photo album and lay the album flat onto extra loft batting that you can purchase at your local fabric store. And then what we do is we take our scissors and cut along the perimeter of the album. Okay. Using our hot glue, we then apply the glue onto the exterior of the album cover and then tack on the batting. You can also use household glue, but allow drying time between steps. The album that we're demonstrating will have a middle panel and then an oval frame on top. What I've done is made 2 templates out of ordinary paper. We'll take one template and apply this onto our cardboard, trace it, and then we'll cut the cardboard out and then apply batting using our hot glue gun. Now that the template is cut, what we do is apply our glue to one section at a time, tack down our batting, do the other side, and then press down firmly. The final step before cutting our fabric is to measure our inside cover and cut 2 cardboard inserts that will act as our liner. The cloth I have here is a moire. Using another template, I'm cutting the fabric into a rectangular shape. Then we'll apply the glue to the fabric and wedge it underneath the 3-ring binder bar. In this case, we'll be using household glue because it doesn't set up as quickly. Then we'll do the same to the other side. Now, we'll cut the fabric about 2 to 3 inches around the perimeter of the album. Then we wrap the material around the book, and using our hot glue, glue one edge and then repeat it to the other side. Then what we're going to do is cut this section up to 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the metal bar. Fold the material underneath this bar, glue the side, tack it down, apply glue to the corner, then apply glue along the edge, fold the material over to make a straight edge. We're ready for lace. This is pre-gathered lace that you can purchase at your local fabric store. We're going to be using about 2 yards. We make this our starting point right over here, apply the glue, and then our lace, and work a little at a time and do the entire perimeter of the album. We'll cover the liner we cut earlier with fabric, and again we'll leave a border about 2 to 3 inches all the way around. Attach it with hot glue, but without batting. We'll fasten the liner to the cover by adding glue. Press the liner firmly onto the book. We've also added satin ribbon ties to both ends so we could close the book and secure it with a bow. For the decorative cover, what I've done is glued batting onto the cardboard panel, and then we've made a smaller piece of cardboard and cut out an oval. Then what we're going to do is cut our fabric, leaving a border of about 2 to 3 inches. So now we glue each corner. We'll do 2 for right now. Glue this end, and to make a straight edge, we fold the fabric over, and then repeat this process all the way around. To finish our oval frame, we find our center point, pinch it, make a direct cut through the middle, and like a piece of pie, we'll cut the oval center into sections. After we've done that, we pull the center point over to the other side. Using our hot glue, we will pull this point and let it tack down. And then we proceed this all the way around so that it will look like this, almost like a star configuration, and the finished product will look like this. I've gone ahead and glued the middle panel, and as you can see, we've added lace. What we're going to do next is apply glue to this middle panel, and we do it liberally along the edge. Secure it in the middle of this album front, press firmly. Then we're going to add the frame. Only apply glue to the sides and the bottom. This way we can slide in a photo easily. You could embellish your album using gold cording, pearls, knickknacks, roses, and ribbon. Personalize your album to make it uniquely you. There are endless possibilities. This particular one has a vinyl pocket that's got a zipper and it holds childhood mementos. This one here I've used pearls to adorn it with, and I've even used fabric paint to write a person's name in a cloud. Memory albums make really great gifts, and especially when they're made by your own hands. Have lots of fun.
Here's a quick look behind the scenes of HGTV's new fast-action, fast-paced show, The Fix.
We are rolling, and action!
Remember that project that you did that you thought was going to be so tough?
Well, it turned out to be very easy.
And how good you felt?
You definitely have the power to do this.
Looks fantastic. Yes!
We're dealing with a lot of power here.
The ideas.
The solutions.
The tools. The Fix.
Begins this Saturday at 9 Eastern on HGTV Weekend Mornings.
If your tar roof looks like this, try the easy, inexpensive way to restore or protect your roof and at the same time save energy. Snow Roof is as white as snow to reflect the sun's rays and keep your home cooler. 3 simple systems make it easy for you to select the economical system for your roof. With a good roof, use Snow Roof. To get a new roof, the 5-coat system with fabric. Snow Roof goes where the water flows and stops leaks. Snow Roof products are available at home centers and hardware stores and these fine retailers near you.
This is the Power Steamer Deep Cleaner from Bissell, and this is some very dirty carpet. Fortunately, the Power Steamer has smart mix to control the cleaning solution going in and an exclusive power brush to lift grimy particles out. So it not only gets the dirt out of your carpet, the Bissell Power Steamer gets the really deep down dirt. Life's messy. Clean it up.
Is Iams cat food good for life? Well, research suggests cats can lower your blood pressure and help their owners live longer, healthier lives. In return, help your cat live a long, healthy life with Iams. The wholesome ingredients in Iams are more digestible, so more nutrition stays in your cat. And cats love the taste of Iams. So feed them Iams day after day and enjoy their company year after year. Iams Cat Foods, good for life.
You loved us, and we're back. The Giant Eagle Baby, Toddler, and Toy Fair at the IX Center October 9th through 11th. Learning, entertainment, and fun. Meet America's most creative mom. Get tips from child care experts. Sing along with Chad and Terry. Watch The Wizard of Oz. Meet Arthur, Hey Arnold, and Clifford. The Baby, Toddler, and Toy Fair. The perfect place for the whole family. October 9th, 10th, and 11th at the IX Center. Presented by Children's Mylanta, Baby Depot, JCPenney's, Target, and Dollar Bank.
Start your workday with Soft Rock 102.1 WDOK and Trapper Jack, Robin, and Jim in the morning.
WDOK, we give you good, clean fun in the morning, continuous soft rock all day at work. Now, 102 is the only station playing soft rock from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Music you won't hear anywhere else. Billy Joel, Celine Dion, Elton John, and tons more.
Trapper Jack in the morning, continuous soft rock all day. 102.1 WDOK.
Improvement Centers.
Well, thanks for watching. Now it's your turn to roll up your sleeves, get out there, and tackle some of those projects that you may have been putting off. And please join me next time, when, as always, I'll have lots of tips and suggestions to make your next home improvement job just a little bit easier. See you then.
Grab your sledgehammer and come on over to This Old House Classics. It's demolition time as we get to work on our kitchen remodeling project tonight at 7 Eastern, only on HGTV.